Welcome to the Life Domination Coaching Program. This is CJ Ortiz of cjortiz.com and metalmotivation.com. In this week's series, I'm talking about a very, very important topic, so important that I would consider it the greatest truth I have ever learned. That's right, this is the greatest truth I believe I have ever learned, and I'm simply titling this Determination. Determination. Probably, if someone asked me one time, could I sum up the entire philosophy of metal motivation, my entire, life and business philosophy into a single word, what would it be? It would be determination. Nothing else. If I was to summarize my entire philosophy of personal development, my entire outlook on life, it would be contained in the word determination. And to better understand how important this is, you have to set it over against what the opposite is, which is fatalism. Now, when I say fatalism, and I talk about determination and fatalism a lot, people misunderstand it because when they hear the word fatalism, they think of something being fatal, as in, he received a fatal wound, a wound that would kill him. That's not the fatalism I'm talking about. I'm talking about fatalism which finds its root in the idea of fate, in the idea of predetermined events or outcomes. And you might think to yourself, well, I'm not a fatalist. I'm not someone who believes that kind of thing. I believe I decide and determine things. Well, I'm going to challenge that because I thought I did too. For many years, I realized I wasted a great deal of time and effort because I was suffering from aspects of fatalism in my own thinking that were undermining my progress. It was holding me back for years as I exhausted my resources to build other people's dreams, as I exhausted my resources to build other people's empires, while always left holding the bag, with no one ever really giving me what I needed to build my platform, giving me what I needed to develop the things that I wanted to do. Now, I don't regret those years because I developed all of my skills helping others do that thing. And I have clients to this day, and I help others continue to do that. But you're going to see I mean something much, much different. I was depending upon things outside of me, whether the permission from somebody else or a religious institution or a political, climate or an economic circumstance to give me what I needed to be able to finally launch out on my dreams. And when circumstances wouldn't go my way, then I begin to interpret them as meaning maybe it's not supposed to be. You ever heard people talk like that when they say, well, I guess it wasn't supposed to be? Well, how the hell do you know, right? How the hell do you know what's supposed to be? Is something supposed to be? Maybe there is, right? Maybe Star Wars is right. Maybe there's a force controlling everything, okay? And if there's a God controlling everything, I don't have a problem with that. The idea is you don't know. You don't know what's predetermined. That's fatalism. So when we say things like, well, life just works itself out, or this situation will just work itself out, or it just wasn't meant to be. No. There is no such thing as it wasn't meant to be when it comes to decisions that you make, because we could find a million circumstances in your life and other people's lives that show that is not the case. There is no fate that awaits you. There are only decisions you make, good and bad, that steer you through the mayhem of life. And the better decisions you make, the better the course your life is going to take, right? The better decisions you make, the better the course your life is going to take. There is no fate or predetermined reality for you. Even if there were, you wouldn't know what it was anyway. As far as your human experience goes, the things that you decide to do, the things that you choose to do, create your future. Another one that people like to use is the word destiny. Well, I need to find my destiny. People are in search of their purpose. They're in search of their destiny. Listen, just because you don't know what your purpose is doesn't mean your life doesn't have purpose. And I stopped looking for a destiny. Why? Because I realized I could choose my destination. So why search for a destiny when you can choose a destination today and start heading down that way and making the decisions and making the plans and taking the efforts to create that destination, to create that reality that you so desperately want, the goal that you so desperately want, the dream, you know what I mean, that eats a hole on the inside of you. That thing that you desire in the very depths of your heart. Don't leave that up to fate. Don't leave that up to life just working itself out. That things one day will someday come together and create the reality that you want. What you find is what? Years and years go by and it never happens. Years and years go by, you're sitting around waiting as if you're waiting for a permission slip. Well, consider this video your permission slip. You now have permission to go launch out on your dreams. You now have permission to start this very moment to plan your own future. You can now start to undermine your own failure. That you don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to be reliant upon the permission or the power of another to achieve the kind of life that you want, to create the future that you want. There's no destiny for you to discover. There's only a destiny for you to choose. And the quicker you make that decision and get your ass down the road, the better off you're going to be, the more fulfilled you're going to be. Fulfillment comes from two things: maximizing all that we are and maximizing all that we can do. Maximizing all you are as a person, meaning your character, your personality, and then fully developing all that you can do, your interests, your talents, your abilities. If you maximize all that you are as a person and you focus on maximizing all that you can do, it doesn't matter where in the corporate ladder, so to speak, you land. It doesn't matter where in the marketplace you land. It doesn't matter how much power or position you have or even how much money you have. If you're developing all that you are as a person, if you're developing all of your gifts, talents, and abilities to your maximum, you will live a fulfilled life. Not a happy life. Okay, I know the movie says, pursuit of happiness, but don't pursue happiness. Happiness is a fleeting thing. Happiness is, I got a new car. Unhappiness is, my car got wrecked. Not something fleeting. I'm talking about a deep, lasting fulfillment. Fulfillment that comes from developing all that you are and all that you can do. That is your decision. That is within the power of your determination. That's how important determination is. I'll often tell people, listen, if there's any area of your life in which you do not have a plan together to see come to fruition, if there's a desire that you have to develop in your life, whether it's a relationship or a job, career, any kind of physical goal, whatever it is, if you say you want something out of life and yet you have not created a plan that you are taking action steps on today to see come to pass, you are a fatalist. Why? Because you think that somehow circumstances outside of you are going to come together and make this reality happen for you. But again, time goes by. The clock ticks on the only life you've got, and you don't get any closer to that dream or goal that you claim you want. So if there's a goal or dream that you claim you want, a personal change you want in your life that you claim you want, and you don't have a plan put together to make that happen, that you're taking action steps on today, then honey, you're a fatalist. Determination says, no, I'm not waiting for outside circumstances. I'm not waiting for someone's permission. I'm not waiting for things to just come together. I'm not waiting for life to work out these things for me. I am going to be the cause that determines the kind of effect that I want. I'm not waiting for causes outside of me to create the reality that I want. I'm going to become the cause that creates the kind of reality that I want. That is determination, and that's what we're going to develop in this series on determination. Can you dig that? I hope you can.